Good morning. Welcome to morning meeting. So here's what's on my mind this morning. I was listening to the Daily Stoic podcast, and this one was a really great reminder about the fact that we're all WIPs. We're all a work in progress. I've said that a lot over the years, and not just as it relates to when I'm working on a book. Right? We're just all a work in progress. This is a journey. This entire thing is a journey. And if you want to think about it, it's more like a quest, right? Like that hero's journey quest. Mel Robbins did a great podcast episode about that. Um, so go look that up. But anyway, we're on our own quest, our own journey, and whether or not we decide to accept it is up to us. Are we going to turn away from it? Be like, no, I don't want to do that again. Or are we going to accept whatever that call is and then pursue the thing that we want to pursue? We're a work in progress. And it changes all the time, or it can, right? We go through different life phases. Again, go listen to Mel Robbins' podcast because she talks about this. But I love the idea that we're a work in progress and we're on this quest, this hero's journey. Now, the quest part didn't come from the podcast. I was just thinking on that and then remembering Mel Robbins' podcast about the hero's journey. But what thing is calling to you today that you can either say yes to or no to? And if you're saying no to it, that call, what is your reason for saying no to that call? That's what I'm thinking about a lot today. Right now, as some of you know from listening to the various recordings, we've been working on our house, and my office is in one of the spaces that we were working on. We had to put windows. I shouldn't say we had to. We finally got to put windows, new windows into this building, and we call it the lounge building. It was the building that housed our tea business, and so it's very old. It was built in 1887. It was the original house on the property where we live, and it had all the original windows. And several years ago, we got 3 of those replaced, 3 or 4 of those replaced, and I was super excited. It was 3 actually, and now we're finally positioned to replace all of those windows. We were trying to keep them as original to what we had as possible. Not an easy task, by the way, from a look perspective. But that also meant that my space where I do my work was a mess, and it's still a mess. But I've been spending time clearing out the clutter because I don't know about you, but I have a hard time working in clutter. I can work in chaos. I have a high tolerance for chaos, but I have a very low tolerance for clutter and being able to think clearly and creatively in clutter. And so the thing, to get this back to what am I saying no to, I've been pushing off working and writing temporarily. So I'm not completely saying no. I'm just going, this needs to wait because I can't seem to get my head around things until this other stuff is settled. I've got to get it settled. That's how I feel about it. I've got to get it all cleaned up and settled so that I can sit back into my space and really enjoy my time and my writing. So is that saying no completely? No, it's not. I'm just saying no for now. And maybe that's what happens. Maybe you say no for now because you've got some really logical in your mind reasons for doing so. But what if you're saying no because you're scared? What if that's the reason you're saying no to this quest that's being presented to you at this particular time in your journey? Now, I had that too, and I've struggled with that too. And what I've said to my children over the years is, you know what? I think it was Eleanor Roosevelt who said this: do something every day that scares you. Now, I don't do it every day, but I do remember the quote often. And that's what I go to when I'm like, why am I afraid to do the thing that I'm thinking I really want to do? Writing started that way, quite frankly. When I first decided I would publish something, and I decided I would self-publish, indie publish a book, and it was a book of essays called My Life in Black and White. And the formatting was as good as I could do it at the time. I didn't know what I was doing, but I wanted to learn how to do this process. I really wanted to learn the process, but I had to get over the fear of learning it first. I had to get over the fear of looking like a complete fool first. And then when mistakes would come up and somebody might point them out to me, it was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed, right? But it was part of the process. And I had to get over the fear of, it wasn't even failure. It was just the fear of looking like a fool. But sometimes you got to look like an idiot in order to make the next step. And so that was one of the things that I had to do. So today, as you're thinking about it, what's your quest? What are you saying yes to? What are you saying no to? And if you're saying no to something, why are you saying no to it? See you later.